like framing kind of within like the idea of context collapse and us kind of running into each other's different spheres, what are some of the implications that you've seen kind of on a societal level?
So context collapse is the word we use for the way online spaces brings all sorts of audiences that would normally be separate together. I describe it as like having a Thanksgiving dinner with everybody you've ever known that lasts a long, long time. You know, there's a reason the holidays are stressful, because people who don't necessarily interact with each other in large numbers come together. And it's kind of like the same tensions when you move from a small village to a city, and all of a sudden you're in this big city and you're anonymous and everybody doesn't know you. Except this is the reverse, because you're used to being in a place and not necessarily have everything watched, and now you're back in the small village, right? Everybody's watching you. You know, everybody's kind of able to follow you. In fact, I gave, I said this back, when Facebook and Twitter were just kind of getting started, that was one of my comparisons, was like, this is taking us back to a village, but at a different scale. Everybody's kind of coming together, and a lot of things that we used to be able to do, because that person did not know that person, and they kind of kept separate naturally, they're now all your Facebook friends. And you know, you look at you put a status update, and somebody from your high school comments that you haven't spoken to in 20 years. It was nice, but they comment. And then somebody from your current work, and then in my case, somebody, you know, who is my Facebook friend because of my research on Arab uprisings and might be from Libya, and you know, it'd be in a very different situation. Then there's a comment from them, you know, and then my current colleagues are here, and I'm just sort of looking at it and thinking, this is complicated. You know, it creates a lot of tensions for people. You know, if you post something, and my students describe like the mom comments with "wear your sweater," it's cold, right? You know, you have a comment stream, and all of a sudden your mom pops up. But it's a place where a lot of your peers are there, and if you're 19, that's not necessarily what you want to see. So a lot of these things are real pressures, and I want to say they come. The technology allows this, but it's the design, right? Facebook designed things this way. And this is kind of where you see why it's very important who designs these technologies. If you're 19 and you're at Harvard, the world is your oyster, you know, and you're thinking, Mark Zuckerberg, who designed this, you're thinking, why do we need to keep people separate? Well, because you're 19 and you're at Harvard, you don't really know anything about how life really works. He once said, you know, why do people need to be different to other people? And I said, sure, if you're a 26-year-old billionaire and everybody's really sucking up to you, and you can just be yourself because you have no social role issues. Even there, I doubt it. I don't think he's the same to his mom as to his wife. I mean, he doesn't say the same things, right? Yeah, to his buddies, he does to his business colleagues. Everybody has multiple social roles. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not the same as lying. You just are a little different with your friends versus, you know, your colleagues or coworkers. Facebook's making those things harder to balance. It's also making hypocrisy harder too, for better or worse. You know, if you want to lie about something and say, oh, I don't want to go to that party because I have a headache, but you actually want to go to the other one, well, there's going to be people with cell phone cameras in the other one, and you're going to be tagged, and then it's going to be visible. Now, is this good or bad? I guess it depends. You know, some level of hypocrisy, white lies.